her. I was like, hey, when are you free for coffee? Her response, she goes, hey, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't do coffee or drinks.
She flat out told a man who approached her on the street that she doesn't do coffee dates, only dinner. Welcome back to the 1 Hour Network. Hit that subscribe button right now because today we are exposing the ultimate transactional traps of the New York dating scene and why modern entitlement is leaving everyone broke and single. Let's look at the data.
I was dating this guy off of Hinge, and I was dating him pretty exclusively, and then I found him on the Are We Dating the Same Guy New York City page, and he was saying some crazy stuff to some people. No, I had to cut it off. Dating in New York City is just so bad. Like, I didn't even think it could get this bad. I had to start deleting the dating app, but honestly, the only one worth keeping to me is Hunch. It's the only app I use, and the only one worth keeping, in my opinion, because I feel like it's matching me with the right people. The guys I'm talking to on Hunch are honestly giving prefrontal cortex develop. They don't take hours to text back. They actually text me back. They're not like insane. And I haven't found any of them on the Are We Dating the Same Guy in New York City page. So there's a win. I think the Hunch is going to change the dating game in New York City. So protect your peace and get on Hunch.
Okay, let's talk about dating in New York City. So a couple of weeks ago, I was walking up the street. I saw a very pretty woman. We made eye contact. I saw her. She saw me. I was like, fuck it. Let me just say something. So I went up to her and I was like, hey, I saw you. I thought you were very pretty. I wanted to introduce myself. She's like, oh my God, thanks so much. She was very sweet. Talked for a few minutes. Good little conversation. I was like, I want to take you to coffee sometime. She was like, yeah, let me know when. So I take her number down. I text her. I was like, hey, when are you free for coffee? Her response, she goes, hey, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I don't do coffee or drinks, but I'd be happy to do dinner. I'm going to leave it there. I have my own opinion on this, but I want to know what you think. Should I have taken her to dinner? Should I have not taken her to dinner? Let me know in the comments, and I'll talk to you soon.
Everyone's always like, oh, what's it like dating in New York? Let me tell you, you'll be seeing a man for like almost 2 months. You've gone on a bunch of dates, really connected with each other. You have a talk that you're only going to see each other. And then 3 days later, they're like, psych, actually, I don't want to date you. It's always a surprise here. Don't worry, because you'll never get bored. Help me. Anywho, that's all.
I've had a lot of people ask me about the dating scene in New York City, and this is my perspective on it. I think New York City is a great place to date. It is a terrible place to find love. So if you're one of these people that just likes the transaction of courting somebody and saying all this kind of smooth stuff that most of it is probably a lie, and you manipulate them into going out on a date with you, and then you talk a big game on the date about how dope your family is and blah blah blah, and then maybe you get lucky and that's it. This is a good place to be. It's a great place to like build imagery around how awesome you are without actually being awesome. But if you're looking to truly find love, this is a terrible place to be. Especially with dating apps. I think dating apps have generally destroyed and corrupted human-to-human love and connection, but that is especially true in New York City because of the just sheer amount of people. There is absolutely no more investment in people over the dating process. There's just these simple transactions that, like, if you don't hit every single box within a couple minutes, you're done. A lot of dating is built off of checking boxes like, do you have a trust fund? 6'5" lies, whatever that silly thing was that went around for a while was. Like, that's what dating is. Do you have these things? If not, I'm not interested. But that's not really what love is, okay? And it makes it very difficult to get to the love phase if the dating phase sucks. The other thing that sucks about dating in New York, and this is something that people don't talk a lot about, is that New York is like a temporary location for most people. So even if you get through the dating phase, you fall in love, you're in a healthy relationship, somebody's going to want to leave at some point. And you both just have to be on the same page of like where you want to go and where you want to settle down and if you want to leave. Like, I've seen this city break people up because just one person wants to leave and the other one doesn't. Especially once you get into like mid to late 30s when it's really like, okay, like, got to settle down, and then girls start to feel the body clock ticking and guys don't. That's something that will destroy your relationship. So if you're a serial dater, New York is a great place to be. If you actually value like love and finding a meaningful relationship, then you should probably go to Pensacola, Florida.
Here are the differences that I've seen dating in New York versus LA. And let me just start this off by saying, I don't believe in the notion that like one city specifically has horrible men. I think there's horrible men everywhere. But on the flip side, there's also really great men everywhere too. You just have to really look for those ones. Let's start with the LA boys. Nobody works. I'm not saying those boys don't have jobs, but I'm saying somehow they don't work. Like, whatever jobs they do, somehow they're always fully remote and somehow they always have all the time in the world. Whereas like New York's complete opposite. Like, the boys are working here. The boys are working several jobs most of the time. Even the LA boys that I would date with full-time jobs, like, you wouldn't think that they actually had full-time jobs by like just the flexibility in their schedule. Whereas like New York boys, no, like they're in the office every single day. I have never met a New York boy that has like the same mentality as a California boy and just has like a relaxed schedule. Like, no, they're all in the office always. Now, this next thing was like a huge shock to me when I moved to California, but like, The dates are very casual. Specifically first dates, very much like, oh, like, let's hang out. I'm like, hang out? Or like, let's go to the beach. Or like, let's just like stop by this little bar. I also lived in a beach town, so like maybe that had something to do with it. New York, the boys don't do that. The boys are like, it's either dinner or drinks on the first date. Normally it's always dinner, and normally it's always at like a really nice place. So imagine how confused I was when the LA boys were like, yeah, let's go to the Santa Monica Pier. I was like, I'm not going to the fucking Santa Monica Pier for a first date. Like, obviously maybe it's like the men I picked, but like, yeah, they're way more casual with their dating in LA. Or farmers market. Farmers market was like a big one. Like, let's go to the farmers market. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Or the New York boys, they're taking you to dinner. So another one, the LA boys, they're very sensitive and they're very deep, which I thought I would eat up. I thought I would love that. Side note, this Face Born This Way concealer, I swear to you, I keep trying other concealers. I keep coming back to this one. Like, I absolutely love it. Okay, back to the sensitive LA boys. They're very deep, but also they're just, they're way more feminine. Like, they have way more feminine energy. I've seen a lot of LA boys cry. Like, I lived there for 10 months. I was like, why have I seen 3 of you cry already? Like, why? They're quick to cry and they're very much in their emotions and their feelings. Like, and that's not a bad thing. They're like just way more deep. They're way more like, they have a very different outlook on life. Like, very much like the ocean powers everything. You know what I mean? Like, super deep. The New York boys? No, I've never seen that with a New York boy. Like, a New York boy has never looked at me and been like, the ocean dictates my day. You know, like, they're not gonna do that. It isn't a bad thing either way, but it just is like, that's a very big difference I realized. Like, they are not as spiritual in New York as they are in LA. And the low-key for the better. I feel like if I had to pick, I definitely prefer dating in New York than LA.
They said that New York City is the worst city when it comes to dating and love. No lies told there. It's true. New York has never been the city for love. Stop listening to Miss Carrie fucking Bradshaw and listen to Miranda. Because in New York, we speak 2 languages, English and cynicism. And let's talk about these types of people as to why New York City is the worst when it comes to dating. Number 1, some people are not looking for a boyfriend or a girlfriend. They're looking for somebody who can take care of them. That's not dating, that's babysitting. Number 2, they're always talking about their ex, or they're still talking to their ex, or their ex is still hitting them up. You could be friends with your ex. Like, let's say like they get into another relationship and now you're in a different relationship. That's fine. Like, you guys are completely over each other. But here's the thing, if they block their exes or they block people that they were romantically involved with in the past, that means they're not over them. Because if you are over somebody, why are you blocking them for? All I can say is that once sis dumped her ex, she's dyeing her hair and she's brand new. Number 3, refusing to get to know somebody, just going straight to NSA. Don't get me wrong, you can do that if you want. But whatever happens to like meeting new people and getting to know them, well, you know that we grew up back in the day on the block and on the stoop and we used to meet all people left and right. Number 4, the I've known them longer than you line. That's total BS. They're manipulating you. They're cheating on you for sure. They just don't want to admit that they like this person. And also, if that was the case, why talk to me in the first place? Number 5, Snapchat and DMs. You know when you're talking to somebody on an app and they're like, what's your Snapchat? Like, whatever happened to let's talk on the phone or FaceTime. Refusing to talk to you anyplace else but Snapchat, that's a really big ick. Because they're keeping you on the side. They don't want any trace of conversation with you. They're hiding you. They can talk to you however they want. Number 6, the 15 Hinge matches. Now, only do we have to compete with people in real life, we gotta compete with the online ones too. And the online ones ain't shit because most of them be catfishing you with their personality. Wait till you meet them in person and they're really toxic, or you can tell there's something like mentally wrong with them. Number 7, they're dating their coworkers because they can't find love outside their job. They're sleeping with 3 of their coworkers. Date them after you leave.
What's it like dating in New York City?
It's kind of hard. The dating apps kind of suck, and then a lot of people that I'm attracted to don't have great personalities. Living in a big city with a lot of people that have big egos.
Why do the dating apps suck?
It's easy to like not reply to people. So like even if you match, you can like message them and then they won't reply, and then you don't really know, so you never end up meeting.
Dating in New York City is impossible. Like, gotta be the hardest place to date in your early to mid 20s. I'm out here giving it my all, and it's the same goddamn thing every time. I'll explain dating in New York City to you in like 10 seconds. You meet, you go on like a few dates, 5-6 weeks later, hey, sorry, I'm just like not really looking for anything right now. And you know what? You gotta respect that they're telling you that. Doesn't mean it doesn't suck major. So I'm retiring. I'm retiring from dating in New York City. That might sound dramatic to you. Oh, it is. Oh, it's very dramatic. Because the thing is, I've gotten to the point now where like I've had that same thing happen enough times that like it's getting a little funny. And that's when I know like, okay, I need to stop. When the darkness or the sadness becomes comedic, you gotta just get out of there. So I'm done. I'm gonna go buy like 10 Lego sets and just build those. I'm not sad. So I'm not sad. All right.
I just got back from a date and I have to share. I think I'm done with dating. I can't. I think I finally understand why people settle, because this is so horrible and miserable. I just, like, what? Okay, so I went on a date tonight. This guy and I have been talking. He's like, let's do dinner. I'm like, beautiful, let's do dinner. I go to dinner and whatever, you know, you get to a date and you instantly within 3 seconds you're like, nah, this is not it. That was it. Good looking guy, nothing about that. It's more of just like, you just don't vibe, right? And like, whatever. I'm like, you know what, Vanessa, like, give the guy a chance. Let's see how this goes, whatever. Honestly, the date was fine. The interesting part though is, so we don't order till really late. We're having a drink, we're talking, we have the food. I barely eat. At this point, I'm like, it's so late. I'm not even like wanting to eat. I'm not hungry, blah, blah. We already had ordered food, but he was like, I really want the chicken. I was like, you know what, dude, like, get the chicken. Like, I'm not hungry, but like, get the chicken. Like, good for you, get it. Like, okay, great. Now the chicken is here, and it's this full meal that neither one of us is gonna eat. I don't touch it for like 10 minutes. He's like, oh, like, are you gonna eat that? I was like, no, like, I'm so full, like, please have it. Fast forward, I'm like waiting for the waitress to come. I'm like, just bring us the goddamn check. I am so done. I need to go home. I'm exhausted. I have nothing left to say. Like, at this point, I'm overhearing the conversation next door because they're speaking in Spanish. I'm like, ¿qué? That's how bored I am right now. But mind you, I'm like trying to be nice and like have a good time, but I really want the waitress to come. She picks everything up and I'm like, you know what? Like, he didn't finish the chicken. Of course, because how much food had we ordered and none of us were hungry, or neither one of us were hungry. I'm like, you know what though? Like, you should take the chicken home, like, for sure. Enjoy, sir, enjoy. Okay. But in my head, I'm like, he literally barely eaten. I ate like 2 appetizers, half of like the 2 or 3 appetizers that we ordered. Like, that's all I've eaten. And he like had this full chicken, right? So the check comes and he just lets it sit there, which is one of my biggest pet peeves. Like, I hate seeing a check sit there because it's just like, so are you paying? Am I paying? Like, what's happening? Like, you're obviously not grabbing it. So, and I'm trying, again, we're trying to leave. So I grab my credit card and I just put it down, me thinking that this man is gonna put his credit card down. He grabs the check and he goes, you sure you don't wanna just split it? Like, let's just split it. You know, I had more food than you. And in my head, I'm like, where did you think we weren't splitting it at this point? Like, if I put my credit card down on a first date, there's not a second, I wanna leave, let's go. Like, yes, we're splitting it, let's go. I was like, no, yeah, let's split it. Like, yeah. So he puts his credit card down, but also, sir, you ate most of the food you're taking home. And not only what he was taking home the chicken, he's like, actually, I'll take home the rest of the salad. Like, man has an entire lunch or dinner for tomorrow. I just paid for his dinner tomorrow, apparently. And also, if you're asking me on a first date, what to dinner, your idea to go to dinner, have the decency to like treat a girl at least to the first date. Like, and again, I know people are gonna come out after me and be like, she just wants to get free food. No, I really don't. I sat down and I was like, this is why I don't do dinner for first dates. I would much rather be at home eating by myself a home cooked meal. I'd be much happier than what I was for the whole night. He's like, oh, how are you getting home? Are you gonna take the train? And I'm like, no, it's 11:20. Like, I'm not taking the train. Like, a woman in New York City taking the train at 11:20 on a Tuesday when no one's out? Absolutely. Again, teach their own. For me, absolutely not. So I'm like, no, I'm just gonna take an Uber. He's like, oh, like, I mean, I'm actually only 5 stops away, so I'm just gonna take the train. And I'm like, so not only am I splitting this dinner with you, you also chose a location that was significantly closer to your house. I am on the Upper West Side. I live in the East Village. So not only did I have to pay for this man's meal, but also for an entire expensive Uber ride home. So, you know, $110 later, here we are telling strangers that I am done dating. Except I realized on my way home that I already agreed to a date on Thursday and a different date on Friday. Why? I have no idea. I might as well just cancel at this point. Okay, bye.
Okay, if you live in New York City and you're single, I think I just found the best dating hack going into 2025. My friends and I went to this party where everyone fills out a questionnaire while you're in line, and at the end of the night, they text you the name of your most compatible match. And yeah, I really do think that this takes out all the annoying steps of dating apps and just skips right to the point. And you're meeting people that you already have so much in common with, and they're hosted by the app Locks Club. And yeah, try it yourself. That's my dating hack going into 2025. You're welcome.
I'm done. I'm done dating in the city. I'm done dating in New York, period. Dating in New York is the worst. Let me tell you. Out this week, I went out to an event and 2 of the guys I was talking to were at the event. And this is not the bad part of the story. This is the great part of the story. I love having a few guys there that you're talking to, because then it makes it, you know, you can tell your friends, it's a little giddly, you can look at them, you get a little bit more attention. That's all fun and games, okay? I'm not telling you that that was the bad part. That was the best part, okay? But it got to a point where, let's call him Jimmy. I was about to leave to go to a club after this event, and Jimmy wanted to come with. And I told Jimmy, you can meet us there, we'll see you there. But no, Jimmy needed to come in the same car as us. And we weren't going to go with Jimmy. We were going to see other people. And although Jimmy is great, I'm not exclusive with Jimmy. We've been on about 2 dates and they were okay. They were pretty good. He's a nice guy, but I'm not solely into Jimmy. Then let's call him Bob. Bob was also going to this event too, going to this party after this event too, this club. So now I have Jimmy and Paul coming. Paul was kind of cool because he didn't, think anything, but that's kind of questionable too. He didn't give me too much attention, but whatever. That was still the great part of it, okay? Then I'm at this club. I see some cute guy. I'm kikiing with him and my best friend, and we're enjoying this amazing table of alcohol. And we're having a grand old time. Until Jimmy comes up and tries to pull me out of this booth. And I owe Jimmy nothing. Jimmy owes me nothing. But no one is allowed to pull somebody else out of an area. I was nice and I was like, hey, I'm just saying hi to my friends over here. Like, you go do your thing. I'll see you around, whatever. Then Jimmy continuously pulls me. And it makes the guys at this table be like, what? And I'm like, no, we're not together. Yeah, we went on a few dates, but that doesn't mean that we're together. We're having fun in this group of people, okay? I do not need Jimmy to pull me out of anything. So then Jimmy leaves after me and my friend both were like, hey, in a nice way, basically, these guys don't want you in their booth, but we'll see you when we see you in a bit, whatever, hang out with your friends. Then Jimmy goes out and kisses another girl, and my friend kind of taps me, and I'm like, no, listen, Jimmy's allowed to do whatever he wants. I can do whatever I want. We are not, dating. We just went on a few random dates, okay? It is totally fine for Jimmy to suck face with whoever he wants. And then Jimmy comes back. Jimmy is not giving up, okay? Jimmy's not done yet. He continuously needs to pull me out of this booth. And I'm telling him, please, dude, please. You don't want me to get angry, because I'm going to get angry if you keep trying to control me here, okay? Because we don't know each other anything, once again. Then he proceeds to tell the other guys at this booth that I'm his and we're together and blah, blah, blah. And I didn't even know any of this. I didn't even know he was talking to these guys because he was pulling them away to talk to them. I'm lost and confused here. But the next day, one of the friends talks to my friend that was there and tells him this whole story of how this random guy was being told by Jimmy that we were a thing and we were together and all this. I'm just confused as to why now you feel like you have ownership over me when we only went on a few dates and it wasn't really going anywhere. We don't owe each other anything. You sucked face with somebody else and now you're trying to control my night? I'm done. I'm done dating here. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. There's too many stories of bad dates here. There's more bad than good dating stories in New York, and there's just another one. So maybe don't, A, go to an event with numerous people that you talk to, B, learn how to end on good terms, and C, don't go to the club with a man. Learn from my mistakes.
What has been your experience dating in the city?
Not so good. A lot of first, second, third dates that don't really go anywhere. Kind of like How I Met Your Mother. He keeps on going through different dating, and it's like, oh, she's nice, and then red flag. Oh, she's nice, and then red flag. And then, you go out to those places where you can't hear anyone, and then you're with your friends who you haven't seen, so you're hanging around them, really meeting someone out. It's not as common as when I was in college.
Demanding a fine dining experience from a total stranger is exactly how the modern marketplace became a transaction instead of a connection. If you want to see how this same checklist mentality completely destroys a man's financial focus, click on this next video right here where we break down the reality of urban dating. See you there?